Hi, my name is Matt, and I have these rocks, and I also have this golden clay. So I've decided to make an infinity gauntlet, and yeah. All right. So I started by making a hand out of tinfoil, and I started that by crushing up a ball, and I put it at the same shape as my palm. And yeah. Then just flatten it out. Then, yeah. Then, after you're done doing that, cover it again to make the bottom lower wrist portion of the thing. And then, do the fingers. I started with the thumb and then did the fingers individually. That's what I did next with the fingers, which I did next after that. Started with the thumb, and then I did the fingers individually, and then, yeah. The next thing is to cover the hand with clay. I started with the knuckle area, moved to the fingers, then I did then after I was done with that, I covered the thumb, and then I covered the rest of the palm and the lower wrist upper arm area of the gauntlet. And then now that you have it covered, now that I had it covered, I thickened the top area where the stones would eventually be held. Once I did that, I added some details to it, and yeah. Then eventually I changed up the details. Right here I indented the in-between of the knuckles, and then I imprinted where the stones would go. They are definitely placed perfectly right now, and I will make no mistakes in where they go. Yes. This is perfect the first time, and not wrong whatsoever. Yes. Okay. Then, once done with that, you put the stones in, and cover the stones so that they are flush with they are good with the gauntlet and not sticking out. Then, what you gotta do next, what you gotta do is you gotta put in the place for the green one to go. That you gotta put the place for the time stone. I started with an oval, and then another oval, and then I did the thingy. This is great explanation. Absolutely zero flaws. And then right here, I'm making the place that the time stone's gonna go, and that's just a circle put in the middle of that, and then just put the thing that the time stone is into there, and then you make that flush with the gauntlet eventually. Alright. Then you got three triangles, one at the top and then two on the sides that are going to be done. I'm starting with the top one first. After I place this one, I shorten it so that it's a good size, and then I blend the sides in. So yes, and then once I'm done with that, I do the side 2. Yeah. So then I do the side 2, which is basically just exactly the same as the first one, except on the sides now. Now that I'm free to talk about anything, you should like and subscribe. Yeah. Alright, now that's done. You gotta start with the upper thumb, which is a flat area, which, now that that's done, you do the upper thumb area. And to start that, you get a flat area, which has 3 segments on it, 2 of which are ending segments, and 1 of which is not throughout the entire thumb area, all blended in. And then right here, I'm adding nails to it, or like nail things or something to keep it in place technically, but like not really. So yeah, perfect. Yeah. Alright, now the nails get added to there. Yeah. 2 on each side, small enough so that they work properly. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Very entertaining. Yep, and then just go over and do the other side. Why did I keep all this in here? It's very boring. Yay. Alright, and now since that's done, you do the top part of the hand. Yeah. Alright. To start, you do some indents into the area right below the Mind Stone, in between the hollowed out area and where the Mind Stone is. You indent that so that it's a triangle, and then you do that all good and nice, and then you put a thing in the then you put a circle in the center. That's basically it. I remove the circle, but eventually, so that it's easier to work with. But yeah, I'm just making right here. I'm making the square. You gotta make sure that it is absolutely perfect and nothing is wrong with it. Like I am right here. Alright, and then, now that it's all good and perfect, you smooth it out so that it's even more perfect, and then you add a little dot in the center, and then remove that dot later so that it's easier to do everything else around it. Yeah. But that's there. Yeah, that gets put back there eventually. Alright, right now I'm doing a circle thing around the Mind Stone for design purposes. Yeah. Now I'm just making a little wormy dealy thing to put around the Mind Stone. Yeah. And putting it around the Mind Stone. Yeah, then you just put that around the Mind Stone so that, and then once it gets put around the Mind Stone, you flatten it out. I'll get there eventually. Alright, now that it's sized properly, you smooth it out so that it looks like one continuous strand, and then you flatten it out so that it's flattened. I don't know, that's basically self-explanatory. And now that it is being flattened, and that is good. All right, right there I removed the things, removed the dots, so it was easier to do what I was trying to do. And now that the worm is being flattened, now that it's flattened, I'm putting little lines around the wormy thing, and then you just do that all around the worm line, pancaked worm thing. Hopefully this is entertaining to someone. Yeah. This is entertainment. Alright, now just do that, continue all around it, drop it a few times, and now that you got that, you do the next thing, which, you put the dot back, drop it a few times, yeah. And then, what you gotta do next is, you gotta do something. I don't know what it is. I forgot what I did. Oh, yeah, you gotta frick, there's so many things that I did. What did I do? You gotta, make the worm thinner. Oh, and then you make the areas where you make the edges of the area, you put the worm around the edges that are raised up and should be raised up. Yeah. Do that quickly. Very quickly. It's not taking any time at all. Very fast process. Then, putting ridges where the in-between of the knuckles are. So in between each of the stones, you put little, little U's. And then I ended them, before they got to the palm. But you don't have to do that if you just watch the entire video like 3 times and know what happens to them eventually. Then I started with the top one, now you do the bottom raised edge area. You just go along the line down there, down over the thumb, around the thingy. These are very detailed explanations and instructions if you do want to, in fact, make these. It is a very detailed process that I'm detailing right now. Alright, then you just put the worm around the edges, up, over there, up, under, over, right, just right there. Exactly what I'm doing right now. You just do that across the entire edge area. This is a long video. If you made it this is important. Right here, I'm connecting the 2 lines at the point where I ended them. You don't have to do this since this is not how the model ends up with it. I'll change that later, but at this point I connect both of the endpoints of the edge and things. Oh, right here, I finally fixed that. Yeah, that's fixed. So I just connect them. You don't have to do this if you do actually plan on making this following my very well-written instructions. But doing those steps are unnecessary because it's not how it ended. So you don't have to connect the two lines. Alright, now I'm going to do the thing around the stones. The purple one, definitely, the power stone, which definitely is supposed to go there and will stay there throughout the entire project, definitely, is circular, is a circular edging. The Mind Stone and Reality Stone in the center is rectangular, and then the Soul Stone again is circular. So right here I'm just thinning out the worm so that it fits better. Yeah. This one is only showing the process for one of them, but it's a very simple process. So just repeat all. If you do end up making this following these very well written instructions, just do the exact same thing for the other ones, but just making the two center ones rectangles instead of ovals, because now that that's done, you just make the two center ones rectangles and the other outer one a circle, well, an oval. But yeah, that's where that's done. It's not too important. Now you get to the center area between the the Space Stone and the Reality Stone. There's a little design right there in the image that I was basing this off of, so I put a design there. It's just a teeny wormy dealy that starts as 1 and goes into a 2 that ends where the Mind Stone goes. I'm just moving the little worms out of the way from the Space and Reality Stones. So then you cut that off where it goes. It does turn into 2 ones that are in a kind of like triangular shape at the bottom. So you just cut it to shape exactly where you need it to go. And then once that's all smoothed, all done, you start doing the ones that are across the Space and Reality Stones. The ones that go across that. There are 4 ones that go across here. This is the first one that I'm doing right now. They all go down into a U-type shape. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. This turned out looking not awful. Eventually. Yeah. Alright, now I'm just doing the second inner U thing. So, that's that. So now I'm doing the third one, which does the exact same thing. If you like this and actually watch this far in, like and subscribe. Come on, we gotta milk this dry. Come on, get all those subscribers and likes from this video, which is gonna get like 10 views maybe. Yeah. Alright, now that I'm on the 4th and final one, just, cut that perfectly without pulling it off like I did. It's fine if you do, but it's better if you just cut through it the first time, because that saves like 3.5 seconds from the process. Okay, now you just blend all those in together. Now I'm doing the Mindstone design thing on one of the sides. What I do here, just copy on the other side. It's literally the exact same thing, just twice, except mirrored. So you start with a line that goes up at like a 45-degree angle, then a box. That's not a box. It's just like a shape thing. You see the video. It's got some edges. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. You can describe it. You're watching. Maybe, I don't know. Are you even watching? If you're watching, then good for you. You're 20 minutes in. Congratulations. Alright. So, now just flatten out the top part, and then this is using a larger worm thing. It's medium sized. It's average. Alright, and then this is in 3 different segments. The bottom one, which is just one line. The middle one, which is like a rectangle, square, pointy thingy. And then the top one is a weird triangle circle thing. Yeah. It's a very quick process. This is relatively fast. Relatively. It's a relatively fast thing that I made. So, yeah. Alright, now just do the top one in like a circle, triangle shape. Just get that all good and nice. And just cut it to shape. I'll do that right like now. And then you just put that shape into a good spot. Right here I messed up the shaping of the worm, so I just redid it. It was fine. So then you just do that like that, and then you shape it all good and nice. No one's gonna freaking watch this all the way. Alright. Now you just make that all pointy and stuff. And then, yeah. Make sure that the gap between those is noticeable and not smoothed in, like how I did it for the in-between Mind Stone and Reality Stone. Don't do that for the in-between of the larger pieces. Alright, now I'm doing a thinner worm for the inner details. Remember that what I'm doing over here is copied over to the right side from the left side. For the smaller ones, a lot of them you do want to smooth into the larger wormy stuff. But just like smooth in the stuff that I smoothed in, because mine turned out not horrible. Yeah, so that for that one, it's for the middle thing, it's 2 small worms. One is like going slightly up and the other goes like flat. Those 2, I believe, get blended in together. Yeah. Alright, then just cut it to shape. I'm very good at cutting all the way through. I do it so well. Yeah. Then there's going to be a good amount of blending them in. Now I have both of the sides on. Now I'm putting on the nails around. There's I believe I put in like 8 nail thingies, 8 circle thingies over. You can see where I'm putting them. Usually they go in between the stones, except for the reality and the space stone, though, because those guys, they want to be different, and I wanted them to be different. Yeah. Make sure that the circles are good sizes and that they don't fall off immediately, because that would be sad if they fall off immediately. All of your hard work and detail falling off immediately would be very, very sad. Then you get all of the nails on there. And then that is I believe that is in a good spot. And then what you gotta do next is you gotta realize that the stones were in the wrong spot. Alright, flip the order on the top few stones. It was actually the opposite way, I think. Alright, now on the backside you can see how I swapped the edging design thing. I cut it off for easier thing. Alright, now we're making the bottom part of the hand, the bottom part of the palm. Just gotta smooth in the thingies, some circles, until they look all nice and grand. I started with the one closer to the thumb because I felt like it. Make sure that you remove the back part or don't put it on yet, because remove the back edging, because it's a lot easier to work without the back edging on. And if you did have the back worm stuff around the edges, it would be a lot harder to work, and you would have to redo them in the end. Now I'm making it look all good and nice and all put together. This is going very, very good. It's good. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Make sure that it's all smooth, nice and properly. You don't want it to be not smoothed properly. You want it to be all smoothed properly so that it's not smoothed properly. Because being not smoothed properly is not good, and you do not want it to be not smoothed properly. Wait. You don't not want it to be not smoothed properly. Alright, now I'm doing the other side, the part that is not next to the thumb, and just smoothing it in, just like I did with the thumb. The one near the thumb, next to it, the one next to the thumb is larger than the one not next to the thumb, so you gotta make sure that you do that properly and not improperly. This is like halfway through the video. If you get bored now, it'd be fine if you left. But that's only if you leave a like. Alright, now if anyone is actually here, that would amaze me. Alright. Now, you gotta make sure that it's all good and smooth, because now after you're done with the smoothing, it's gonna not really be very easy to smooth it all nice and better after you're done with this, after you do the next step. Alright, so the next step is you gotta make a flat ball thing, and and then it's like then make it all flat and triangular, and then you gotta flatten out between the fingers, and then you gotta make a bit flattened, and then where the fingers are, maybe, you gotta make indents there. And I'm saying that because I didn't record that process, I don't think. So you'll just have to follow with what I say and what it looks like in like a few seconds. You'll see it eventually. Yeah, there it is. There it is. You'll see what I was talking about. It's kind of triangular, and then there's indents between the fingers, and then a lot deeper indents with the fingers. All right, now I'm putting the worms back where they were before I started with the palm. They go around the finger, and they go below they go on the wrist, but then they move up with the thumb, and they go on top of, and they go above the thumb for the bottom one. And then that is the palm, all nice and pretty much done without anything. Now, you gotta start with the wrist lower arm thing, gauntlet, lower part that I don't know the name of area. So to start, you gotta get a pretty thick worm and put that along the bottom, and that will get flattened out eventually. You flatten it out as soon as you get the sizing right. And right there, it's all good and sized. Just cut it all the way to size so that it's all shaped properly. And then once you get it shaped properly, smooth it out so that it's all nice and smooth, and then flatten out the thick worm, the extra thick worm, so that it's all nice and flat and all edge of gauntlet nice. All right, now you put 2 rectangles on the back part where like all the veins and the weird stuff is, like right in there, and then you flatten out the end that goes away from that, like I'm doing right here, and then where that is, there will be a design. The only thing that's after this is the fingers, by the way. Alright, right here I make a rough sketch of the design. This gets completely redone. I'll let you see how fast that this design lasts. It lasts for a very long time. And if you can't tell, that was very sarcastic. It gets erased immediately because it was bad and I didn't like it. And then I'm just removing that design because it was bad and I didn't like it. And then I'm going to replace the design right after that, because the original design was very bad and very ungood, and we didn't like it. How am I still only halfway done with this? Gosh. Alright, now this new design is 1 line through the center and then 2 lines going off of the center area, which has a little dash thingy in the middle area, and then that goes out away from the center line. Yeah, you'll see. Once you're done with each of these, flatten out the area around it a little, but not too much, because you still want the indent to actually be there. Yeah. Alright, and then you just repeat that design over onto the other side. Pretty much just repeat it exactly, except flipped again. like with the thing on for the Mind Stone. Just you gotta put the mirror image of that of the other side, like I'm doing right here. And then you gotta flatten it out so that it looks all like one line, pretty much. Instead of being all over the place, gotta make it look relatively flat. Alright, now you gotta work all in the front area. And to start doing that, you have a little thingy. Is that what I'm doing? I don't know. You have a little flat. I was just smoothing out the bottom thing. I don't actually know what I'm doing here. I did this like yesterday. Oh yeah. So now you got to get the flat thing that's like that ovular shaped, and then you got to cut it so that it's all good and nicely sized. Trust me, I know what I'm doing, and I definitely don't not know what I'm doing. All right, and then you put two things with a rounded bottom thingy on there. Two triangles, two squares, but with ovals taken out of them. And then you do a flat thing on both sides that go from the end of the oval thingies to the back where the palm, where the veiny thing is. Where that thing gets lowered and cut off. You do that on both sides. And then, after you do that, after that's done, you gotta do what happens next. What happens next is you do the designs for each of the things, the three things that are in the front area. Just simple designs. You can do whatever you want. I was just doing a bunch of lines and X's without any like real meaning behind them. Just kind of like random lines. And then for the front one. And then for the two on the side, it's just like circles, like just lines going along with the bottom pattern. For both of the sides, basically just going along with what's at the bottom. Yeah, and then you just basically do both of those on both of the sides. You just do that pattern for both sides, and then that's exactly what you do. Yeah. 5 lines on both of the sides, I believe. Alright. And yeah, that's what you do. And then, once you're done with that, you gotta make sure the lines are all nice and neat. All good. Or good. Gotta make sure they're good and not bad. And then, yeah, once the lines are all good, you make sure they're even better. Because if they weren't good, now they're gonna be. Yeah. Alright. Now, once you're done with that, what you have to do is you have to do the design from the thing right off of the center thing, with the two things that are off of the center thing and then connect over next to the center thing. I don't know how to explain it. You gotta make a lightning bolt thing with one of the sides being circle thingies, the top one. You just make that shape that's right there, and you put it between the two for connecting them. And then on the side that's on the not the front or the side of your hand, gotta cut it to shape first. But once you're done with that, you gotta make it all. You gotta blend it in with the side that's closer to the side of your hands. That goes over the side of your hand thing part. Doing this all in one take because it's an hour-long video. Yeah. Why am I doing this? What? All right, yeah. Then you just blend it in, and then it's all good and it's not bad because if it's not bad, then it's bad, and you can't have it be bad. You gotta have it be not bad and not bad. I still have some. I'm not insane. Trust me. Trust me. All right, yeah. Then you just basically do that exact same thing over on the other side. You just flip it over. It's literally just the same thing, except on the other side. There's no difference. It's literally the same thing. It's the same. You just do the exact same thing. You just put it in between the two, then you cut it to shape, and then you just blend it into the other side. No. Oh wait, I did. No, there it is. Now I'm cutting it to shape. Now it's good. Now it's all nice and not bad. Wait. Shh. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Then you just go and blend it in, but not all the way. You still need it to be noticeable. It's still raised up. It's not blended all the way in. It's not flat. It's just there's no line. Now, once you're done with that, on the side you need the thing on the side. You need a small worm thing, and then, wait, am I there yet? I don't know. Yeah, you get a small worm. You gotta make a small worm. Why am I yelling? Gosh darn. Yeah. Now that you have your small worm, you just connect it at both ends. And then eventually you just connect it, go down, bend it over, and then you move it over, and then you just put it up. Yeah. Basically just exactly how it's shown on screen. You then cut it to size because, yeah. And then you blend it in, but this is where I noticed that the side thingy was a bit too long, so I cut it to shape. Also, you just do the exact same thing on the other side, including the cutting to shape, because both of them were too long, so I shortened them. Alright, and now you put the thingy on the thingy. You put a little panel on the front and the two sides. I just had one panel. I cut the panel to shape. And then when I had the panel cut to shape, the excess clay that I had, I cut that in half, which you'll see later. And by later, I mean like in the next few seconds. And by next few seconds, I mean like maybe like 10, 20 seconds. All right, here it is. Now you cut that in half. And then what you got to do after you cut this in half is you need to turn it into a rectangle. And when it's a rectangle, then you realize that it's still too high up. You realize that it's too big, so you flatten it into a square. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. I'm just good at explaining what happened. All right, now I'm turning the piece It fell over. The gauntlet fell over. I'm very good at making that not. I'm just kidding. Alright. So, now that it's the rectangle thing, it's still too long, so you flatten that into a square. Yeah, now that that's a square. You also do this exact same thing with the exact, basically just the same square to the other side of it. I have my sanity still. Alright. Yeah, now that that's done, now it's time to get to the good part. The design. Alright, you just, now for the design on the front one, you put a little triangle thing right below where the front piece is, and then where, the edge thing is, the little lightning bolt thing, you just put a little thing there. And then once you have that on both sides, because I'm very fast at getting it on both sides. I did this the second side in 2.5 seconds. Zero hesitation, absolutely no flaws. No flaws. Alright, no, I just am right here, I'm trying to match the design with the other side. You don't actually have to do this if you are making this. I just did it because I thought it would look nicer, and it definitely would, in my opinion, and maybe not in your opinion. Maybe you don't like things to be maybe you like things to be asymmetrical. Maybe things being symmetrical makes you not go yes. And that's fine. Alright. Now that you got that, you just basically just make a design. I just did a bunch of different lines. Again, there's absolutely no meaning in the lines. It's just basically random. I mean, it's not entirely random. I just did some lines crossing over each other. Triangle stuff. But, you can really do whatever you want. The designs don't really matter. As long as you think they look nice, they'll look nice. It's all just a matter of your opinion. Yeah! You've made it, there's only 10 more minutes left in the video. If you've actually watched this far, good for you. You should like and subscribe. Yes, I'm going to keep doing that, but that's the last time, because now, since we're doing the design, you just gotta get the design, and then you gotta get the design on the front, and then you gotta get the design on the sides, and then I'm just gonna show you the design on the front, and then the design on both sides, and you can either follow the design, or you cannot follow the design. It's really your choice, if you did actually watch this video. If you didn't, then, okay. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, I'm just finishing up the design on the Gauntlet front side, and then the design on both sides is basically just, you can do whatever you want with the designs. It really doesn't matter. And then, once you're done with the design on the front, you do the design on the sides. It's really not that complicated. Yeah. Now you just get the design all not bad, or to a point that you think actually looks fine. Remember, if you find anything weird with the design. It's coincidental. The designs don't mean anything. They're just basically random. Yeah, now I'm making the design on the other the side designs. Yeah, the side designs, they're pretty cool. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to do them. Well, I mean, you do need a design on the sides. You can't just have it blank, but, like, you don't need to do what I'm doing here. I've been recording here for, like, an hour. Alright, now you just gotta do the design on both sides. And then, once you get the design on both sides all good and how you like it, then it'll be all good and how you like it. Again, you can really do that if you are actually using this as a tutorial to how to make an infinity gauntlet. First, why? And second, you can really do any of the designs that I'm doing however you want them. The reason that I keep saying this over and over is that I'm really just trying to fill time. This is like an hour-long video, and I don't have anything to say for this because there's really nothing to commentate on because you could legitimately just skip this section entirely, and I wouldn't really care if you weren't going to do the design that I did. Alright, now that that's design's done, now you gotta make the fingers. We're back to the hype stuff. Alright, for the fingers, you just make them like squares. Just a front side and a back side. And then you make indents where the joints in between the fingers go. And then you just follow the indents around the fingers. You can do this one by one, or you can do this not one by one, but instead all at once. You can really do either way. You can, but I just did them one at a time, and these are how the fingers turned out. Now, what you gotta do is basically the last step. What you have to do now is you need to make the design in the fingers. So, it's basically just like two lines with a round top, and then, like, dashes in the center. I don't know. That's just what the design I was basing mine off of had. Yeah. All of the sides have different lengths, so make sure you don't just immediately start doing them as if they were all the same length, because the one for the pinky is, like, ridiculously short, like you, and, yeah, all the other ones are around the same height, with, I believe, the one on the middle finger being a bit longer than the one on the ring finger, and the one on the pointer finger being a little bit shorter than the one on the ring finger. But it doesn't end there. Yeah, it's basically just two lines, a circle top, and then dashes in it. You just do that for all of the fingers for the bottom of them. And then, once you're done with that, there's like two more steps. And then, now I'm doing it on the pointer finger. You can't see it, but it's definitely happening. Yeah, there it is. There's the design. There's the design for all the bottom ones. Now is like the second to last step. Now you need like a couple of wormy dealy stuff. Now you just put it in like a circle position. You blend it in a little, and then with a ball stylus, you make it all ball like. I don't know. And then you just do that for the middle two fingers. Yeah, I'm redoing the little lines of the design right there because I felt like it. And then you just do that again for the middle finger. This happens for both the middle two fingers. You don't need to do it in the same order I did. I'm just telling you the order that I did it in. Yeah, and then you just, again, do the ball stylus to make it look all like it is there. What? And then, yeah, you just redo the design a little so that it's all nice and good. And then the final step, probably, not really the final step, but, like, yeah, it's a lot of final steps. You put the design in for the middle sections on the middle two fingers. There's a design up there for there. That design is there for both of the middle two fingers. This is a lot more exciting than the design making for the palm, wrist, gauntlet area. So you just do that design for the middle two fingers. And then, once you finish that, you're finished with doing that. There's still a few more steps, but, like, they're not too important. Relatively. Alright. Now it's all good. This is the finished thing before... Oh, wait. No, right here, I'm doing a worm around the bottom part to make the things that I added while working on the base actually go below the bottom part like it's actually supposed to. Once you get that all across, and then you cut it to shape, you just cut it to shape, and then you blend it in to the bottom part. And then once you're done with that, you're basically just done. There's really not much else to do once you've blended it in. Alright, now it's basically finished. All you need to do is, it's basically just finished. All you need to do is bake it. But before you bake it, take out the stones. And then after you bake it, glue the stones in, and while you're gluing the stones in, if it breaks, just glue it back together. Mine broke a little, but yours doesn't have to if you're actually following these as instructions. Alright, and now it's time to take a look at them. I think that this design actually turned out very good, and it didn't turn out bad. While I'm doing this, I just want to say, hey, north of the border, if you're existing, and I just want to thank him because he is really a person who inspired me to actually, like, record the videos of what I do, and I think he's a pretty cool guy. Don't quote me on that. If he ever gets into a really bad controversy,